Hello, welcome to Mediation. My name is Alma Acosta, but you can call me Alma. I will be your mediator today. Before I begin, I'd like to take the time to get to know who you are and what you like to be addressed as. So I'll start with you. What is your name and how would you like to be addressed? Okay, thank you. And what is your name and how would you like to be addressed? Thank you. So, before you came here, I did send an email with the attachment to the pre-mediation agreement form. Did you have the chance to look that over before you came? If not, don't worry about it. It's fine. I will be breaking down the pre-mediation form and what it entails throughout the process. But before we begin, I like to point out where the restrooms are located and a couple of other things. So over here down the hall, if you go to the left, you'll find the restroom. And over here behind this file cabinet, there are going to be a couple of snacks. There's going to be some water and some tea and coffee. And because this is a 2-hour mediation, I am understanding if you need a restroom break or a water break. So if you ever feel the need to go, just give me a heads up, let me know, and I'm more than willing to comply. In fact, do any of you need to use the restroom or drink water before we begin? Alright, so moving forward, I want to thank you again for trying mediation today. Mediation is a voluntary process. This is something that you two chose to come here to do. And so with that being said, if you feel that at any time this process isn't working for you and that you'd like to explore other options, feel free to let me know. However, I do encourage that you do try making an attempt to negotiate to find some solutions that will help you in creating an effective parenting plan for your child. So, as a mediator, my role here is to be a third neutral party. And so what that means is that I will not be interjecting any opinions that I have, any perspectives on the case, or throwing any suggestions or casting any judgment. In fact, it is the opposite. I have no interest in the financial or personal outcome. I have no financial or personal interest in the outcome of the mediation. My only interest in this case is to make sure that you both are coming together to communicate and negotiate and reach an agreement that will help you find an effective parenting plan for your child. If at any point you feel that I'm being biased, if you feel that I'm being unfair, please let me know. I am more than willing to hear you out. And if you feel that maybe you'd want to change the mediator throughout the session, please let me know. There are a couple of mediators that are more than willing to help out. As a mediator, I cannot offer any legal advice or any suggestions towards the case. So if at any time you need to consult a lawyer and ask them any questions or express any concerns you have before making an agreement, let me know. I will allow you to, step out, make a phone call if you need to do that. In addition to that, this mediation process is confidential. By confidential, I mean that what is disclosed here may not be disclosed outside of the mediation through any forms of communication. This is by means of third parties. So anything that's disclosed here cannot be disclosed with any third parties outside the mediation or through any form of communication, including social media, phone calls, etc. And so I do ask that you both respect that part of the mediation process. In addition to that, I cannot be subpoenaed or called into trial should this mediation, or should we not reach an agreement today and should you take it to court. I cannot be called upon to testify or share any evidence because I have to oblige by the confidentiality policy of this mediation. During this mediation, the first couple of minutes, which includes this time now, will be the only times I talk, realistically, because each of you are here to control the outcome of this mediation. I will be giving each of you the opportunity to disclose any information that you feel is relevant in finding an effective parenting plan for the both of you to use. There will be a total of 5 to 6 mediations, And each of those mediations, like I said earlier, are going to be 2 hours. So with that being said, I do ask that you really share information that is only relevant to the case in order to save time. I do apologize in advance if I interrupt you in order to help the mediation move forward. I do feel that we should have some meaningful discussions in here and make it as effective and as swift as possible to help you reach the outcome that you need to meet. I do have a couple of ground rules to discuss before moving forward and before signing the pre-mediation agreement in front of you. You will be each given an equal opportunity to talk throughout the mediation. And so without that being said, I do ask that you do not interrupt each other. In front of you right here, I have given each of you notepads, and on these notepads, feel free to write any questions, concerns, or any comments that you have as the other person is talking. By reducing the amount of interruptions, we also reduce the amount of times we have to slow down the mediation. Throughout the mediation, you might notice me taking some notes on my notepad, and this is to keep track of what is being discussed. And throughout the mediation, I also might ask questions to clarify any confusion that I have regarding the case. After the mediation is over, I will be discarding and destroying the notes in order to maintain the confidentiality policy. I'm sorry, it's a long day. Throughout the mediation, when it is your turn to talk, I do ask that you talk in my direction so that I can better understand what you're saying, and to reduce any confusion. And likewise, if you're talking to each other, please make sure to make some eye contact and to make sure that you're talking directly to the person. In the mediation, when it is your turn to talk, if there's a topic that you do not feel comfortable discussing in front of the other parent, I can call a caucus. And a caucus is a private meeting which will give you each the opportunity to discuss any topic that you don't feel comfortable discussing in front of the other parent. If I have your permission, I will share what is being said in the caucus to the other parent if you don't feel ready to express it. However, if I do not have your permission to share it, then I will respect that as well and keep it confidential. Some other rules I have, including not interrupting others, is to avoid the use of any foul language, discriminatory remarks, any aggressive behavior, or any crude gestures. I will be giving you a warning if I see that this rule is broken the first time. I will kindly ask that we do not repeat these behaviors. However, if these behaviors continue, I will call a caucus, or I might have to end the mediation. My role again is to help each of you focus on finding win-win solutions that will help you both effectively create a parenting plan that will help your child in the future, because this is why we're here today, for your children. And so I cannot emphasize this enough, that this is my role and this is the goal of the mediation. Before we begin, I do want you to take the time to look over the pre-mediation agreement one more time. And once you feel that you understand what it says, or if you have any questions, please let me know. But with that being said, I do ask that you sign on the bottom to acknowledge that you have heard what the process of the mediation is, and that you understand what my role as a mediator is. So if you can take the time to do that, feel free to do that. And please do that. Alrighty, thank you. So, do any of you have any questions before we begin? No? Okay, so let's get started. I'm gonna start with you.